Okay, now it is. Okay, so good morning, all of you. Om Shanti. So, welcome to the English Avyak Murli Reading Club. A new month, a new day, and also a very powerful Murli of what we call the most powerful day for all the Brahmins, which is the 18th of Jan. So, we are revising 18th of Jan 91, and it reminds me from June onwards, this month, the Avyak signals are all about how we need to be harshit on our faces, which means cheerful. Rather than saying happy, the true word would be cheerful. And that can only happen if our nature is easy and if in our attitude there is tolerance. So it's on these two, the entire month's Avyak signals would be there. And also June marks Mama, our very dear Mama's sacred month. And I don't know from where I found out. I'll share it with you all as well. Mama's Murlis. I think we should be reading those as well. Very powerful, packed with lot of depth of knowledge. You know, Mama's speciality was she used to go in the depth of any one point and then really churn on that to such an extent that there was no scope left for any knowledge point not to be understood, right? So I think we should be doing that. I'll share the file with Rakhi Ben, or maybe I'll do it here also at the end. And then we can read that on and off as and when we find time at homes. So coming to today's Murli, I'll share the screen on these lines of being cheerful, happy, being tolerant, being easy. Baba is saying that we should really start becoming complete and perfect soon. And that will happen through awareness, smriti. And if we are able to do that, then we can really align with what Mama's slogan was. There are many things which Mama said about many Mama's slogans, like the part of Hanji, then every breath or every moment is the last moment, Har Ghadi, Antim Ghadi. And she also said, Snehi Bhava, Sahyogi Bhava. That is what is today's Murli about. That you have to give cooperation to everyone. And why are we not able to give that? Because we don't have that love. And what love? It's the soul love for each other, the spiritual love for each other. So, if we can do all this, then we are in one way truly a world benefactor, Vishwa Kalyankar. So, let's begin 18th of Jan 91. In order to become a world benefactor, become complete with all the awareness, Smriti, Smriti se Sampan, and give cooperation, Sahyog to everyone. So today, the Almighty Father is pleased to see his children who are the embodiments of remembrance. So we are sort of in one way Yad Swarup or Yog Yukt or Yog Swarup. Because on this very particular day, 18 Jan, children remember Baba more than any other day. The children of the whole world from this land and abroad are celebrating this day of remembrance. So today, the day of remembrance, Smriti Divas, is reminding you children of your Brahman life, that is your powerful life, because together with the life story of Father Brahma, there is also the life story of you Brahmin children. The incorporeal Father created Brahmins through the corporeal Brahma, and it was only then that there was the creation of the imperishable Yajna through Brahmins. So, Avinashi, we call 5 words which signify the importance of Yajna. I'll tell that in Hindi first and I'll translate it. So, anyone wants to speak about those 5 words in the remembrance of Yajna, or the 5 uh, different ways we call the Yajna? So, first is Avinashi, Ashwamedh, Rudra,
Jnana Yajna.
Gita Gyan Yajna. Yeah.
Gita Gyan Yajna.
Gyan Yajna. So it's 5 things. I think forgetting the first one, I think. So Avinashi Ashwamedh Rudra Gita Gyan Yajna. Yeah, so 5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rudra.
Rudra Gita Gyan Yajna. So
Mhm.
imperishable thank you, Girijaben. So imperishable Yajna is one of that words. The others we've already said. So we'll discuss that sometime later. Otherwise, today's Murli will remain. So there was the creation of this imperishable yajna through Brahmins. Father Brahma, together with Brahmins, became the instruments for establishment. Therefore, together with the life story of Father Brahma, there is also the life story of the Adi Brahmins, which means the first Brahmins. There is the importance of both Adi Dev Brahma and the Adi Brahmins in the establishment of the yajna. So remember, the most important Adi Brahman after Adi Dev Brahma is Mama Saraswati. The Eternal Father created the creation of the Adi Brahmins through Brahma, and then the Adi Brahmins brought about the expansion of many other Brahmins. Okay, I will just, that goes off. Here we are. So it is the story of establishment of Father Brahma that is related on this day of remembrance. You call it the day of remembrance. So did you remember just Father Brahma, or did you also become aware of all the things that the Father has reminded you of through Father Brahma? So therefore we say Brahma Baba ke 10 kadam, like those 10 footsteps to follow in to become similar to Brahma Baba. So which things and how many things have you been reminded of from the beginning until now? Do you remember that? If from Amrit Vela until the night you recall all the things that you have been reminded of, could they be completed in one day? It's quite a bit in a day. So, but we have to check it. There's a long list, isn't there? Even if you celebrated a week of remembrance, there would still be a lot of detail because you do not only have to revise it, but you also have to realize it. And again, every line as I'm reading, every sentence, this month is so sacred of Mama. So it reminds me, Mama used to always say the most important power is the power of realization. And if I have the power to realize, only then can I transform. So the power of transformation can happen, parivartan can happen with realization. So this is why you say, Baba saying, the embodiment of remembrance. To be an embodiment means to experience every type of awareness. You become an embodiment of awareness, whereas deities simply speak about it. So here also comes 2 words. So in the path of devotion, we say Simran, and in the path of knowledge, we say Smriti. So both are very different, though they have the common smr with them. So Smriti is awareness, constantly being aware of my original eternal form, whereas Simran is just trying to chant something powerful in the path of devotion. So Baba is saying, devotees simply speak about it. So what awareness have you experienced? See, there is a lot of expansion in all that. Just as the introduction of the Father is so vast, and yet you give the essence of it in 5 aspects. In the same, what are those 5 aspects? If I'm not mistaken, we say Naam, Roop, Desh, and Kal. These are the 4 aspects. So Naam is name of Baba. Roop is what is his form. Desh is which land he belongs to. And Kal is what is the time which is going on and what time of the cycle does he descend onto the earth. So, though the introduction of the Father is vast, but the essence we give it in 5 aspects. In the same way, put the expansion of all the things that you have been reminded about into the essence of 5 aspects. Now, Baba will tell us those. From the beginning until now, Babdada has reminded you of so many titles of yours. How many titles would there be? So it's basically all the swamans, the points of self-respect. There is great expansion, isn't there? Remember each title and become an embodiment of it and experience it. You must not simply repeat it. Become an embodiment of experiencing that. The bliss of becoming an embodiment of remembrance is unique and lovely. And Baba reminds you, children, of the title. The first title is starting with eyes, the light of the eyes. In Hindi we say, आँखों का सितारा, आँखों की झलक. So you're the light of Baba's eyes. Sorry. What is the speciality of the eyes? What is the task of the eyes? What is the power of the eyes? So Baba starting with Nazar se Nihal. Starting with Nazar, you say, or Aakhin. So there is an expression in English. People say, you are the apple of my eyes. So for us, for Baba, we are the light of his eyes, right? So Baba is saying, what is the task of eyes and what is the power of the eyes? Experience all of these, that has become an embodiment of this awareness. We know, therefore, the importance of Drishti at Brahma Kumaris. It can be so powerful, and through that eyes, what task we can carry out, task of transformation of self and of others. So in this way, continue to experience the awareness of each title. This was told to you just as an example about the eyes. In the same way, think of the elevated form, Marasresht Swarup. How many facets of this can you remember? Various aspects of facets of my elevated form. So it could be starting with the eyes. Then what others you can churn on it? Baba says on your forehead, there should be a sparkling star. And your face should always be cheerful and happy. And then we say Mukh Kamal. The face should be like a lotus. Then Hast Kamal, the hands. Then uh, Padmo mein, it will be Kadam ki kamai. So in your feet, there will be sort of the, what you can say, the income, multi-million fold income. Then we have Nain Kamal, the eyes are like lotus. So on and so forth. There are many aspects compared to the lotus. So how many facets of this can you remember? How many forms do you Brahmins have? So what is it? Do you want to remember here the 5 forms which Baba says? Panch Swarup ka Abhyas, that one, or other forms? You can churn on it. Whatever is the form of the Father is also the form of you Brahmins. So experience the awareness of all these forms and become an embodiment of the awareness of everything. Now what he's saying, title. So Swaman. Form is Swarup. Virtues is Gun. Eternal, original, and of the present. Eternal is Anadi. Original is Adi. And of the present is this moment. So become an embodiment of the awareness of all the virtues of Brahman life. In the same way, so we spoke about the elevated form. Now Baba is saying, in the same way, think about your tasks. You have become instruments for such an elevated task. So elevated form and now elevated task. Sresht Kartavya. Let the awareness of all those tasks emerge. And the 5th aspect Babdada reminded you of is your original and eternal home. So through having awareness of your own home, you have received the power to return home. You received the courage to become one who has the right to a kingdom in your own kingdom, and you also become aware of the art of living a life of happiness in the Brahmin world at the present confluence age. So it's a very big sentence. So Baba is saying, have you really become aware of your own home And this awareness, along with that, you have received the power to return home by remembering Baba all the time. And Baba says, do the accurate remembrance. Remember me in the soul world in your home. And along with the power, you have also received the courage to become a king in future, have the right to the kingdom. And anyone can't come to the kingdom. Becoming a king means knowing the art of living a life of happiness. And that life of happiness, it starts with this Brahman world. So that's what Baba is reminding us. So you now know the art of living very well, don't you? The world is moving so fast in the art of dying, right? Whereas you Brahmins are flying in a life of happiness filled with joy. So there's so much of difference. So how can we think, or rather, how can we understand this point that the world is moving fast in the art of dying? So we know science and technology. Just a few days ago, remember the Murli, I think it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Baba spoke about how science is Ghamandi and technology is Ghamandi, which means the ego of science. And Baba spoke specifically about the heart transplant, remember, in the Sakar Murli, whereby he said that nowadays surgeons do the heart transplant, the plastic heart. Now, I don't know which age that was. Baba knows it better. We don't do plastic heart transplants anymore. It's about real hearts of people who die in accidents and they become brain dead and they have a vegetative lifestyle. So such bodies whereby you're just the body is of no use now because your brain is dead. So then the heart is still working, heart is pumping. So then those hearts are taken and transplanted for people whose hearts are failing when they have a lot of organic illnesses of the heart. So why I'm telling you this here, because Baba is saying that the art of dying is very well known. So science and technology. So one is, you can say this satta, this power of science and medicine. Second is the scientists who are inventing so many bombs. So those bombs are also a sign that we are really moving fast and we are learning the art of dying, because these bombs are not just left, Baba says, to be kept. Somehow or the other, someday or the other, they would be let loose. And all of us will be in the art of dying then, right? So the day of remembrance means experiencing the spiritual intoxication of all types of awareness. Excuse me. On this day of remembrance, you do not use the same words as people of the world, such as, oh, our Brahma Baba was like this, that he said this, that he did that. No. So we will just remember him with a lot of uh, enthusiasm, zeal and enthusiasm that yes, we have to become like him on this day of remembrance and day of awareness. People of the world say he was, and they spread waves of sorrow. But the speciality of you Brahmins is that you say he is with us even now, and that you experience his company till this date. So you have this speciality. You would not say that Father Brahma has gone away. He made a promise of staying with you and returning with you. If the Adi souls does not, if the Adi soul does not fulfill his promise, which means Father Brahma, then who else would fulfill a promise? Because he's Prajapita Brahma, Brahma Kumaris and all that. The name is coming from his name, Brahma. So if he would not fulfill a promise, how can other Brahmins? So he will always fulfill the promise. It is just that the form and the method of service have changed. And we know, and the first Murli of 1969 was uh, being played, uh, being by Dadi Gulzar's body, the first Murli. Rather, before the first Murli, there were those 13 messages which came through Dadi Gulzar's body, or through Dadi Gulzar's medium. Body is a wrong word to use. So through her medium, and 21st was the first Murli, 21st of Jan. So, so when those, I forgot what point I was saying, sorry. Yeah, so Baba spoke about those points through Dadi Gulzar's this thing, and yeah, in that he mentioned that I have I'm still with you all kids, with all the children, I am with you all, but I have only changed my dress and address. So the dress is basically I have become Akari now, Farishta Swarup, angelic. And the address is I have changed it from this Sakari lok, this corporeal world, to the not incorporeal, but which one? It is the subtle world. So that is the form and the method of service have now changed. So the aim of all of you is to become angels who then become deities. So Father Brahma became a sample of the angelic form. The sustenance of all the children is even now taking place through Brahma. And this is why you are called the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. So do you understand the importance of this day of remembrance? Always remain merged in the awareness of all of this. This is known as the experience of becoming equal to the Father. You souls have experienced being equal to the Father, that is Bab Saman, but people have taken this word Saman, that is equal, to mean Samana, which means to merge. You souls do not merge into the Supreme Soul, but you become equal to the Father. So beautiful Hindi words, but just one difference of a matra. It's becoming Bap Saman doesn't mean Samana, to merge. It basically means to become really equal to the Father, as he said, in the form, in the qualities, in the virtues, in the powers, in the title, which he mentioned before, the five things. So all the children have personally sent special remembrance for the day of remembrance. Many have brought love and remembrance as messengers, for each one says, "Give my special remembrance to Baba." Instead of writing a letter of remembrance to each of you individually, Baba is writing to you from his heart. And the love from the heart of each one is merged in Baba's eyes and in his heart as well. And it is especially merged now on this day, the day of remembrance today. So those who are especially remembering Baba, Bab Dada also has specially made them emerge and is giving them love and remembrance. The enthusiasm of the heart-to-heart conversation, and the condition of the heart of each of you have reached Baba, the comforter of hearts, Dilara. So Bab Dada is reminding all of you children of the awareness that you are always in Baba's heart, your service companions, and your stage is that of a constant observer. So the flag of being a conqueror of Maya will constantly continue to fly. The lesson of nothing new should always be in the awareness of all the children in every situation. So as he finishes today's Murli, Baba is reminding us of the lesson of, nothing new. Brahman life means there cannot be any question mark or even an exclamation mark. How many times would you have heard this news? And what news? News of war somewhere. So do you remember in 1991 what war was that? It was the famous Gulf War. Whatever, Iran, Iraq, I don't want to go in those details. And I remember I was in the 10th standard that time, 91. So I have faded memories of how that time there was no internet was not heard of. And it was only some news channels, DD, Doordarshan, and others. And all these satellite channels hadn't begun. So the news was all about the Gulf War, that how Saddam Hussein and all XYZ people were involved. And so in the same way, this Gulf War is now also going on, right? The Iran and Israel and so many other USA. So Baba says you have heard this news n number of times and you'll keep hearing it more often now, right? Since Ukraine and Russia from 2022, Feb 22, 2022, it has started. And there is just no looking back. It's 4 years, more than 4 years now, 4.5 years actually. So is this news new for you? No. Brahman life means that when you hear any news, you remain powerful in the awareness of the previous cycle. So whatever is to happen will happen, and therefore you cannot ask the question, what will happen? You're Trikaldarshi. You're the ones who know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the drama. So can you now not know the present? You're not afraid, are you? In Brahman life, there is benefit in every step. It is nothing to be afraid of. The task of all of you is to give peaceless souls the rays of peace with your power of peace. And yesterday's again powerful Sunday Avyakt Murli is we can only give all these Anjali to the being passing on this mercy to all the souls who are really mercilessly dying or whatever. That can only happen if the entire Murli yesterday was revolving around one word, waste. So if we can finish our waste, we can become like that, complete and perfect. So they are your brothers and sisters. And so in terms of your godly family, be cooperative with them in giving all that sakash, drishti, etc. To the extent that they are moving fast, to that extent, the yoga of your yogi souls will also give them the cooperation of peace. Therefore, make special time and give them the cooperation of peace. And this is the task of you Brahmin souls. So Baba started with an elevated form and then the elevated task, and then he finished or ended by telling us what is this elevated task. Acha. So the Murli is getting over now. So in this last 3-4 lines, Baba is giving us remembrance and love. And he revises, in one way, he summarizes the essence of the entire Murli. So to all the elevated souls who are embodiments of all types of awareness, Sresht Atma and Swarup of Smriti, all types of Smriti. To the souls who have the aim and the qualifications of becoming equal to the Father, Laksha and Laksha. To the close souls, Bab Samip, closest Samip, sorry, who always experience themselves to be with the Father, and to those who easily put this lesson of nothing new into a practical form, and to those who become world benefactors, Vishwa Kalyankari, and give cooperation, sahyog to all the souls of the world, to such constantly victorious souls, Sada Vijayi Atma, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. And we spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. So tomorrow we'll see what Bab Dada is telling to the dadis and the groups. So I'll stop sharing here. We'll have a moment in silence and then start sharing. Thank you. So you can start sharing, and in the meantime, I'll share in the chat box the book of Mama's Murlis. Thanks.
Om Shanti Manoj Bhai. Life story of Brahma. I still remember, one of the most unknown person of a well-known personality. He is such well-known, like ordinary body, extraordinary soul. our founding father, Bachon ke Baba, the one who has been selected by the Supreme Soul himself to to help in creating the new world. Like he is the harbinger, but never we don't have even any such kind of literature where he is mentioned. We have nowadays now we have even biopics of people and all of celebrities, of cricketers and all. But I was thinking, can anyone create a biopic of Brahma Baba? What a life story. And really, as somebody was just sharing, that was one of the first book which really I used to read page by page, the Adi Dev, the old edition. And today, I don't know, please correct me if I'm wrong, for the first time I'm hearing Adi Brahmins. I've heard where Baba says the first Brahmins, but Adi Dev and Adi Brahmins. So life story of Adi Dev and life story of Adi Brahmins. So nice to know even we have a life story. So if suppose anything, even a biopic can be made of us. That was the first thing when I got when I saw when I heard about when you read about the Adi Brahma's life story and this. The Day of Remembrance generally, Manush Bhai, is filled with love. But in this Murli I saw the that saga of love and all has not been at all mentioned much. Otherwise, the one whole paragraph Shiv Baba will just devote to our love story, the love which flows, the children's love and the tears in their eyes. That's what, that 18th January Murli makes it. But here I found it something absolutely a little bit different. It's talking about the yajna and all. It was a different thing. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So Baba also says that do a little bit of comparison between this world or the world, how people remember when somebody die, and then how Brahmin says it that when people says that, oh, he was that, and then he did this, and then they spread sorrow. Instead here, we have a different, the Brahmins have a different way of saying it, and he will always say that he is so and so and did so and so service, and also experience now Bab Dada's right company, or Brahma Baba's company. Um, so here, that the way of looking at thing is completely different. So I really like that. So there's not that sort of a sorrow exchange, but here elevated way of looking at that he is with God, or he is with Brahma Baba, right? And this was said when Brahma Baba left the body. So there it was said, Brahma Baba just changed his room and addressed. And there the method of service is also changed, just to change the method. And yes, the awake service was even more powerful than the corporeal service that is what we see. So our objective is to become like a father, not become father, become like father. So Baba clarifies that here in this. Yeah, that's the takeaway. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti Bhaiji. Baba inspires us to remember our different forms, our different titles, Swarup, and what is our sweet home, and where have we come now, and inspires us to imbibe that constantly and keep that in our remembrance and perform elevated tasks with such awareness. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Manoj, you spoke about two things, Smiran and Smriti. And you said in the copper age it is Smiran, that is remembrance, devotion, and all. But I just had an thing. Wasn't there smriti even in the copper age? Because we always hear. I remember when I used to read, when a student of ancient Indian history, that everything, the scriptures and all were written through smritis and shrutis, what these souls are. So isn't Smriti also there? Okay, that awareness of that perfect form of Shiv Baba and all, that's Smriti. I can omit. But wasn't there some form of Smriti also in the corporate?
Yeah, so the other meaning of Smriti is memories. So, like we say that the Copper Age, the first person who wrote the Gita, Ved Vyas. So he also
Wait,
had this Smriti from his memories he had. But the difference between the Copper Age and the Confluence Age is all these Smritis here in the Confluence Age are elevated. So therefore we say Sresh Smriti. You know, Baba always reminds us from today's Murli, as we said, Sresht, elevated task, elevated form, and Sreshmriti, elevated awareness. So it's everything is elevated at confluence age, whereas in copper age, everything is in the fag end of going in the Uttarti Kala. Everything is in the dropping down mode, whereby you're losing your arts, you're losing your virtues or powers, and you're becoming impure. So therefore, it's important that it's elevated awareness. As a soul, we obviously will have awareness and smriti all the time because that is the uniqueness of the soul, right? Man, buddhi, sanskar. And I think the awareness is all the subconscious, what we call the subconscious mind, it's all in the buddhi, in the intellect. So we'll always have smriti, we'll always have remembrance and awareness, but it's the type of awareness which is elevated in confluence age.
And, and in the golden age and silver age, the fruit of the awareness which we have now, we
Yeah.
experience it there. But there is no any other awareness in the golden age and silver age. Is there any other kind of memory in the golden and silver age?
So I think Baba says that in the golden and silver age, you are reaping the fruit of that
Fruit.
confluence age effort. And at that point of time, the only awareness which is emerged, which is coming on the forefront, is the soul consciousness. And that's the reason we are so light and pure and etc. of the golden age. All those five, what we say, Mahima, praises of deity religion, that is Sola Kala Sampurna, Sarvagun Sampan, Sola Kala Sampurna, Sampurna Nirvikari, Maranda
So,
Purushottam, and Ahimsa Paramodham. So all that awareness which is not there right now and in a Brahmin is there. So all that is there. But again, it is Baba says, it is again, we are going from a 16 celestial to 14. So you're in the Uttarti Kala. I would not say Girti. Uttarati means you have started stepping down the ladder. You still have started not falling down. And we start falling from the copper age. So that awareness is again different. Brahmin confluence age awareness is different. So every awareness is different. So awareness and smriti will always be there, but the form would change with every age.
sorry again once more. And this Smriti splits in the Iron Age, like each soul, a different kind of messenger comes, messages come. So even the soul, which were, or are they different kind of souls who come down in the Iron Age with a new Smriti of the dharams and all? Is that
So
because
actually, the way it is called Dwapar age, it splits
Mhm.
there only, right? The copper age, the day one itself, there is a split of everything. There's a split between I being the body and the soul awareness has started going. That is one split. Second split is of wealth. You are so there is a lot of comparison. You are wealthy, I am poor, rich, etc. And then also all the religious founders, founder fathers start coming
Brahma
from there. Yeah. So it splits from the copper age itself, whatever in the awareness we have, and then the iron age it enhances. All that increases the splits. The dwanda, therefore it is called dwapar. Duality increases as we go further in the iron age.
It's very nice, Manoj. By one day, you must take us a class on the science of the Smriti. See, cycle we read, we just say the five forms, we are a point of light, we are Devi Devta, just blindly when we do. But the Smriti part, which today you said, no, the science behind it, the memory, as you said, why does the 16 become 14? What are the Smriti which we lost for the two? Why does 14 become 8? What is that? We should really have a nice thing on the science of Smriti or in the cycle. I think that's a very beautiful thing to know in the knowledge. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So Baba also emphasized on one lesson here, the nothing new. So just to keep, this lesson firm, which means accepting everything as it is. So no question or nothing, no surprise. So just accepting everything as it is. So sometimes I think when the journey continues, right, it becomes a little tough to accept everything or as it is, or maybe that awareness is sometime, we it goes out of the memory, or so what practice that one can do in order to make this lesson firm within the self, managed by.
Sorry, what is the question of nothing new? I am not getting the question still. Ah,
Yeah, the question, nothing new, right? So
ah,
Baba emphasizes this a lot, right? So which means we do not have any question. So everything that is happening
mm.
is beneficial, and it's all part of the drama, right? So that's what this lesson teaches us, right? Nothing new.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So there should be no question of this also. Yeah, very true. So there are so many other points which Baba mentions that nothing, because this drama is ever Kalyankari. Today's Murli starts with we are world benefactors, and we are world benefactors, but this entire stage or the entire cycle also is in one way full of benefits. So someone would say, what is the benefit? Someone is stabbing and someone is doing a war thing and so many things going on. What is the benefit in that? But we know it is the cycle which is changing. Not changing, the cycle is turning. And we are moving from confluence age now into the golden age. So everything is happening for a reason. So as we say, I give this example that in the Gita it is mentioned, whatever happened in the past was good, whatever is happening is extremely good, and whatever is supposed to happen in the future is best of the best, whatever is happening. But people can't understand, they can't digest this. So Shivani Ben in her talk, she says that it's okay if you can't digest or you can't accept the fact that whatever is happening for good or for benefit, but at least you can accept that whatever is happening for a reason. When I become neutral to that aspect, so that whatever is happening in my life, so for example, today I go and I have a fall, I have a fracture, I sustain a fracture of whatever limb. So I can't say, I mean, I would, as a Brahmin, I can say, yes, everything is for a benefit, but just as a person who is still not in knowledge, who's not aware of the deep secrets of the drama, etc., etc., for that person, you can say, oh, whatever is happening for a reason. Then he can accept, yes, that the reason could be that, yes, I was supposed to stay at home for a long time, have family time, which I wasn't able to do. So now I have been forced to do that at home. I can pick up on my hobby, which was pending for a long time. So on and so forth. So everything happens for a reason. But we know Baba says everything happens for the benefit. And if someone can really identify the benefit in whatever is happening, then nothing like it. Our chehra, like all our faces would always be so cheerful and happy all the time. And from today, 1st June onwards, we have to become an embodiment of that. That's the reason the Avyak signals 30 points for 30 days on how to become cheerful. And the method is by being easy natured and by being tolerant. So we'll be reading that from today. So that is nothing new. For benefit everything.
Manoj bhai, I know your time is over, but just one point. In yesterday's blessing, Baba had said to stay in your real position is the pilgrimage of remembrance. So,
Hmm.
but I just want to know, so does this mean revising, realizing, and experiencing? Is that also equal to the pilgrimage of remembrance?
Absolutely, yes, why not? Don't worry, my time is not over. Today's Avyakt English Murli time is over. I
No,
don't know.
no. Generally, admin give us time to they stretch
Yeah,
it
I'm
on till
just
6
kidding.
o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I love the blessing was so beautiful.
Mhm.
If you are the child of ocean of bestower of happiness, you can't give happiness to others. You are the child of the Almighty Authority. You cannot be, that like ocean of intoxication. But today in this sentence, Baba said the bliss of becoming an embodiment of remembrance is unique and lovely. That's why I just wanted to delete it. Like Baba saying, every day's blessing itself you take, that itself will be enough for you in your pilgrimage of remembrance.
Absolutely. So we can end here and again spend a moment in silence and then exit. Thank you. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a beautiful day.